सो हाय एवरीवन, आई एम रोहित, योर आइल्स टीचर, और आज हम करने वाले हैं एक और रीडिंग पैसेज। सो क्विकली पढ़ते हैं जी। यहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? ए कंपैरिजन बिटवीन रैट्स लर्निंग एंड ह्यूमन। सो यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन दिया है रैट की लर्निंग और ह्यूमन लर्निंग के बारे में लिखा है और उनके बीच का एक कंपैरिजन दिया होगा। रेफरेंस टू अर्लीस्ट स्टडी इन द एनिमल लर्निंग। तो इसमें क्या है? सबसे पहली शुरू की स्टडी। सो हमें सबसे शुरू की देखनी है। डिस्कवरी ऑफ हु स्ट्रिप्ड द पाइन कोन, किसने किया? लेट्स सी। ए डिस्क्रिप्शन ऑफ कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस एक्सपेरिमेंट। सो कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे। सो ये बड़े सिंपल क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, इसमें जैसे हमें आंसर मिलेगा वैसे ही पिकअप करना है। दीज आर द सिंपलेस्ट क्वेश्चंस, इनके हमें लॉजिक किए भी थे पहले। सो लेट्स क्विकली रीड फ्रॉम पैराग्राफ ए टू रेस्ट ऑफ देम। Learning theory is rooted in the work of Ivan Pavlov, the famous scientist who discovered and documented the principles governing how animals learn in 1900s. So they are talking about the experiment, or let's say theory, experiment, learning. That means here they're talking about the earliest study. अगर आप देखो तो, because there have been many studies in 1996 also later on, but the earliest one was in 1900. So we've got our answer. So let's see, earliest study, this is going to be A. So let's write down A. Next आगे वाला पैराग्राफ पढ़ते हैं because N भी नहीं दिया है. Role models are a popular notion for guiding child development, but in recent years very interesting research has been done on learning by examples in other animals. If the subject of animal learning is taught very much in terms of classical or operant conditioning, it places too much emphasis on how we allow animals to learn and not enough on how they are equipped to learn. To teach a course of mine, I have been dipping profitably into a very interesting and accessible compilation of papers on social learning in mammals, including chimps, humans, children, edited by Hayes and Gallup. इसमें कोई बात है क्या? इसमें कोई कंपैरिजन नहीं हो रहा है रैट्स का, रैट्स की बात ही नहीं है, तो इस पर रैट वाला आंसर नहीं है. सो लेट्स सी, देयर इज नो रैट आंसर. स्पाइन कोन की बात नहीं, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस की बात नहीं, दैट मीन्स देयर इज नथिंग हियर. लेट्स सी. द रिसर्च रिपोर्टेड इन वन पेपर स्टार्टेड विद अ स्कूल फील्ड ट्रिप टू इसराइल टू ए पाइन फॉरेस्ट वेयर मैनी पाइन कोन्स वर डिस्कवर्ड. तो पाइन कोन्स की बात है जी, थोड़ा पाइन कोन की बात हो रही है. पाइन कोन में हमें देखना है किसने स्ट्रिप किया पाइन कोन को. अगर यहाँ पे बता दें किसने किया है तो हमें ये वाला पैराग्राफ मिलता है. स्ट्रिप टू द सेंट्रल कोर, स्ट्रिपिंग की बात है. अब देखते हैं किसने किया. सो इन्वेस्टिगेशन स्टार्टेड विद नो वेटेड थियोरेटिकल इंटेंट बट वॉज डायरेक्टेड एट फाइंडिंग आउट what was eating the nutritious pine seeds and how they managed to get them out of the cones. The culprit proved to be the versatile and athletic black rat. So they have said that who the person is. In that case our answer is C. Let's see next. Urban black rats were found to lack the skill and were unable to learn it even if housed with experienced cone strippers. However, infants of urban mothers cross-fostered by stripper mother acquired the skill, where infants of stripper mothers fostered by urban mother could not. Clearly, the skill had to be learned from the mother. Further, elegant experiments showed that native adults could develop the skill if they were provided with cones from which the first complete spiral of skills had been removed. Rather like our new photocopier, which you can work out how to use once someone has shown you how to switch it on. तो यहाँ पे बात हुई है हमारी, यू यूज हुआ है, तो ये हमारी बात हो रही है जी. यू मीन्स हमारी बात, और वहाँ पे क्या लिखा है? So they are talking about rats learning also and human learning also, for which they have said you, how humans learn very quickly and how rats, and they have used rather was for comparison. That means you found our answer, that is D. Let's move to next one. Next paragraph. A good example of adapted bearing, we might conclude, But let's see the economies. This was determined by measuring oxygen uptake of rats, stripping a cone in metabolic chamber to calculate an energetic cost and comparing it with the benefit of pine seeds measured by calorimeter. The cost proved to be less than 10% of the energetic value of the cone, an acceptable profit margin. So here they're talking about cost effectiveness and profitability. That means we've got one of answers again. So they're here talking about cost effectiveness. So let's say it is E. So let's say this one is C, this one is A. We'll do synonyms also at the end of this. Now let's see questions number 5 to 8. The field trip to Israel was to investigate how black rats learn to strip pine cones. So this is what the main thing is. So let's read. Now this is a question which is based on reason. So reason was how black rats learn to strip pine cones. That is the funda. So reason is, the main reason was, or the reason itself was, to find how they learned. If this is not the reason, it is going to be false. So where they talked about? Here, trip. Here they talked about trip. So let's see, what was the purpose of them? So investigation started. What was the purpose of this investigation? With no weighted theoretical intent. So there was no intent itself only, but was directed at finding out what was eating the nutritious pine seeds and how they managed to get them out of the cone. So there are two reasons given: how they managed to get these seeds out of the cone and who ate this. Now let's see this question. Question says, the field trip to Israel was to investigate how black rats learn to strip pine cones. How they learn to strip. So if you see, they are not talking about learning. Instead they are saying the reason was different, and reason was to find out who stripped it and how did they manage to get the seeds. How did they learn was not there. That means the reason was different, and whenever in reason based question reason is different, answer is false. Let's see next. The pine cones were stripped from bottom to top. So they're saying they were stripped from bottom to top by black rats only. If pine trees were stripped but not stripped entirely from bottom to top by them, it is going to be false in that case. So we have to see, was entire thing goes stripped bottom to top. So let's see. And the technique was to bite each cone scale of its base in sequence from base to top, following the spiral growth of pattern of the cone. So who did it? It was done by the black rat, and they said they stripped it bottom to top. So this answer is clear. They indeed stripped it bottom to top. This answer is true. Entirely they did it. Let's see next. It can be learned from other relevant experience to use a photocopier. That means it's just by not learning how to use a photocopier, just by learning how relevant things to use it, we can learn how to use it. That means it is very simple to use. So here they have talked of photocopier. So rather like a new photocopier which you can work out how to use once someone has shown you how to. That means just by knowing how to switching it on, you can know how to use photocopier. That means you just don't need to learn completely how to learn it. Just if somebody tells you relevantly how to just open it up, you can use it. So that means this answer is true. Stripping the pine cones is an instinct of black rats. That means black rats do it naturally. So let's see. There they said yes, black rats do it. But see, they have said here, Bourbon black rats were found to lack the skill. That means some of the black rats cannot strip cones. That means they're saying the black rats, that means all other black rats have instinct, that means natural skill, but they're saying that some of them are not naturally skilled. That means this answer is false again. So that's all in today's reading. एंड अब हम इसमें सिनोनिम्स लिख लेते हैं फटाफट जो जो इसमें आए थे. नीचे वाले फिलअप्स हम नहीं कर रहे हैं. This is going to take extra time, and extra time is not a good idea. So let's see what synonym they have said. Human learning के लिए उन्होंने बोला था human learning. For human learning they said you can learn. Alright, let's see. अर्लीस्ट. अब अर्लीस्ट वाला क्या था इनका, बड़ा सिंपल था, ध्यान रखना है हमें इन चीज़ों का, इस चीज़ का ध्यान देना हमेशा. अर्लीस्ट का इन्होंने दिया था द मोस्ट प्राइमरी ईयर ऑफ स्टडी and which was 1900s. So that's how what they do. Sometimes they just give years and you have to understand on your own, is it the earliest year of experiment on your own, because there were many years given and ultimately we concluded that it was 1900, that was the earliest. So let's see. Third is third was not very different. Cost effectiveness. So let's say for cost effectiveness there was a word in particular. So let's see what was there. It was an E paragraph. So they have said economy. Cost effectiveness is synonymous language to economy. So they said there is a great economy in this thing. So let's see. Economy. Fourth, let's see, in true false not given that we came across any synonym. Let's see. Field trip to Israel was to investigate. No, there is no synonym. There is no synonym. It can be learned from other relevant experiences. There is nothing. Instinct. So they said instinct. Instinct. There they said not natural skill. So here they have actually used instead antonym here of instinct. They said not natural skill, so we chose answer to be false. So these were the synonyms that we came across solving these reading questions. Alright everyone, thank you. We're going to have solve new reading next time.